Hi friend, David here from Learn Christmas Lighting. And now that we've set up our FPP, we've got the software installed, we're talking to it, and we're on our show's network, whatever that may look like. Again, that's beyond the scope of this video. I wanted to show you the basics of uploading a sequence to FPP, letting it play, okay? And this will work whether you're using an FPP like this one, that is just a Raspberry Pi. It's going to output two controllers, or if it's a controller that has FPP built in. Okay, so what we're going to do is open up good old xLights. It is November, so I am at the point in the season where I'm not updating xLights anymore. I usually, once I start working on my display, I stop updating xLights because I just, if there was a bug or something that caused me problems, I wouldn't want to run into that. So I'm going to ignore the update warning, or I did yesterday on this version, so it's not showing up. Nope, there it is. And what we're going to do now is go ahead in xLights, and for the sake of this, I'm going to say, okay, you've got a layout, you've got sequences. Oh, I've got a bunch of goofy stuff in my layout. You've saved those sequences, and now you're ready to start setting up your show in FPP. All you've got to do is go to Tools, FPP Connect. This is super easy, okay? It goes and it searches the network, it finds all your little FPPs. If it doesn't find some of them, you can add them manually here by typing your IP address of it. It typically finds them. Then we're going to go ahead, press upload. So check the box there for upload. Then FSEQ type, you typically want to leave that exactly where it is at v2 sparse. Then we want to upload. We'll leave this as default. The UDP out is going to be if you are sending data to other controllers. It actually, look, I mouse over there, it tells me this. So if it's just an FPP that's just a controller, you're not outputting via the Ethernet port to other controllers, you can select none, or you can select all for everything, or proxied, which I believe is just the controllers that it's assigned to a proxy IP address. Then you can select your playlist if you want. In this case, I'm just going to go and upload some sequences. So it goes in here and it looks in your show folder, and you can also look at all your other folders. I have too many folders. Don't ask me about my show folder. It's bad. And what we're going to do then is just choose the sequences that we want to upload, okay? You can sort it by the date modified, which is super, super helpful. Because then I go, oh, okay, here's my stuff from this year, right? Say these 3 or 4. So you select the sequence files, go ahead and you're going to choose media on the FPP. That's the player. That's the formerly called the master, the one that's going to be playing the music. For any other FPPs, you can uncheck media because you don't need those audio files in there, and it's not going to do any good. Okay. Then what you're going to do is press upload and watch it go. Now, typically when you do this, for me at least, xLights usually freezes for a second, and then you see everything transferring here, and then it closes, and then you're good. Over in FPP land, now it's got all kinds of info. Like here, it's telling me it can't find all these controllers that I've got set up because none of them are connected or plugged in right now. Just don't worry about those unless you have controllers plugged in that should be working. Then you have a problem. What we're going to do is go to Content Setup, Playlists, set up our first playlist. New playlist, nice and easy. Give it a name, description, whatever. Randomize, I typically leave that off, but if you want to do a random show, do that. Add playlist. Now we have 3 portions. We've got lead in, main playlist, and lead out, okay? For most shows, I keep everything in main playlist, but lead in is something that plays once at the start of the night. Lead out is something that plays once at the very end of the night. Add a sequence, boom. Typically, you're going to do sequence in media, but there are other options. Then you choose it. As long as the MP3 was uploaded with the media and it's the same name, it should automatically match them. If it doesn't, you can choose them. You can select if there's video out, any notes, blah, blah, blah. So that auto select is on. Add. Next, go ahead, add another one, add. Next, nice and quick, add. Boom. Cool. Once you've done that, you can reorder these any way you want. As you probably noticed too, when I was adding, we've got one that's highlighted. And when I'm adding, I can actually insert before or the default of after, or just insert them all and drag them around. Okay. Once you do that, very important, save it. Okay. Playlist actions allow you to randomize, copy, rename, all that stuff. But now all we got to do is set up a schedule and then we'll be rocking and rolling. So content setup scheduler. This is where we set up our schedules only on your player, your master per se, your head FPP. Press add, your boss, your CEO. Should we call it CEO? I don't know. By default, it's active, has a start date and end date. Set those to whatever you want them to be. Days of the week. There's lots of options, as well as day mask, which allows you to choose specifically which days. Start time. Schedule type, playlist. Select your playlist, end time. How often it should repeat. Typically, I have that just be intermediate, be right away, but there are some options there. And then stop. What does it do at the end of the time? Does it keep running through the playlist? Does it just plain stop? What does it do? Okay. Press save. Boom. And now you're good to go. We can go back to the main screen here then. And this one was set to run every day, every hour of the day. And so we can actually come over to the main page here and it's now playing. If we had in here set up it for later, okay, I go to my playlist, schedule, and say I had it set up to start later in the day. So I have it start at 11:30 a.m. and 12 p.m. Sure, save. It saves, it reloads the schedule. Now what I should see, maybe I didn't set that up right. I'm going to just hit restart FPPD super quick and see, did I set up the schedule wrong? I think I did. No, I think I set it up right. Yeah. So now it says stopped up here on the main status page. It shows that it's not playing. There's no scrolling time, etc. And it says next playlist. It tells you what the name of the playlist is, when it's going to start. All right, so if something's not right, you can pretty typically see this here. This preview button's also cool. It just walks you through, okay, this is when it's going to turn on and off next. You can check all that out. And that's really it. Once you've done that, you've got a basic schedule set up in FPP, and you're ready to do your first show. If you're looking for more help getting your first show up off the ground, then be sure to check out my free guide. I'm going to walk you through the things that I wish I knew before I did my first show. I wasted money. I wasted time. I don't want you to do the same. So grab my free guide over at learnchristmaslighting.com. Be sure to subscribe here. Check out everything else we have to offer, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.